Can you guys, how's this going? Is this working better for y'all?
Round 5. Ready, go!
I like that. Almost ducked in time. Alright, good game, Dr. Hugbox. So, I was trying to run the stream here. Let me know what you guys see, if it works for you or not. Okay, good. Glad to hear. Okay, good. I'm glad you can see and hear me now. Yeah, I had to reclaim that and read a few of the instructions, but it was a lot of fun. Good fight, man. Good fight. I enjoyed it a lot.
I won't lose. Let's see how many seconds you'll last. Are you ready for this?
Round 1. Ready, go!
That was really good. Very nice. So the audio is not matching. I see. Try restarting the browser because I had to redo the stream a few times, and maybe that might be the reason. But let me know after that if you don't mind doing that. But Sir Hixlot, thanks a lot. I like this. The throw is great. 2 scoops, you're playing really good. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I had to redo the stream quite like 3 times.
Round 4. Ready, go!
It'll buff every now and then. I see. Sorry about that. I wish it was working much more smoothly.
I thought I'm better.
It's good to play VF again. I wasn't intending to go on like a 1 week break, but I ended up being on a 1 week break. So, but Sir Hixlot, how have you been doing? How's everything been treating you? And Dr. Hugbox, it was a really fun fight. Yeah, I'm doing the best we can. Indeed. So Tiger Uppercut was really awesome too. It was really awesome. So things are kind of busy right now, but things are pretty damn good. Life is looking bright. I'm happy to hear that. All right, Kisano, I am excited to see your pie. I see. I can do this.
two. Ready, go!
Yeah, I have a lot of experience against Pi, so it's been a lot of fun doing this stuff. But Kasada, your Pi is pretty cool though.
Ready, go!
Yep, combo, nice.
Knockout!
You remember, respond with the mid. Respond with the mid. I would love to watch the first attempt between Sir Hickslot and Blaring. I definitely gotta watch that. That's awesome, man. I do want to watch that. Oh, keep it up with Pi. Pi is awesome, but she's definitely, she teaches you so much of the game, and just like what Wolf did to your game, Pi's going to do a lot of other aspects to your game as well. So I'm excited to see how you do Kasana with. Keep it up. Ad break, yes. If you want to skip the ad break, usually you can watch it on the YouTube. Let me see if the YouTube is the option here. I don't know. Is the YouTube not showing up?
Round one. Ready,
Pi has very small recovery, so yes, it means that you have to input much sooner, both as her opponent and as her. Nice. That was really good.
knockout!
Alright, that was a really nice first game. First round, I'm sorry. It's been a while, Devil Ray. I hope you're doing well. Monday night, I will be going to the tap room next week. By the way, Devil Ray, Mr. Garpo really likes, really likes Fighting Vipers 1. Big fan. I mean, Mr. Garpo is a big Sega Saturn fan, but also a big fan of Fighting Vipers 1 and Fighters Megamix as well.
Knockout!
Okay.
Round three. Ready, go!
Really nice. Also, I'm not sure if I did or not, but I think I fought Hanapeko online. But I could be wrong. It was a name that looked very much like Hanapeko's name. It's just that I think it was Hanapiku, which is not the same. Hanapeko is an amazing Vanessa player. If I fought them, and it probably wasn't them, but if I fought them, they were playing Shundo. But yeah. Pi is definitely much more than 9K in the 2P in the throw. That's really funny though. Oh no, we couldn't get the replay. Oh, we'll take a look at this view to see. No, this is still a better view. Alright, Mexican uppercuts in the room. Hell yeah. Well, it's good to be playing VF with everyone again. It is interesting about the challenges we're having with the rooms. I heard that this week Akai's room ran a lot better than it had been the past few weeks. So that's positive news. I heard it was like the smoothest weekend in a long time for Akai. So I'm really happy to hear that, but I hope for continual improvement. And we'll see. We want to be able to grow the online. There's still room to do it a lot, actually. But yeah, we need to hopefully these issues get ironed out too. And hopefully, I do think people are sending Sega the feedback in the Discord. If you have feedback to give and you haven't sent it, please make the time to do it. Sega reads the Discord feedback. Not the Discord chat, but the suggestions channel in the Discord. So Hixlaw, I'm really sorry. It seems like there's been a lot of growing pains with this, and I think it could be having more trouble with connections that are not as pristine, right? So Tiger, so in Taiwan, again, the first day we went to V Pro Cup, really good tournament. I only got to see Havoc on the Friday, on that first day, and they were amazing. Just wonderful friend and wonderful community member, making everybody feel comfortable, making connection, helping everyone get connected. And so, Havoc was the one who introduced me to both GamerBee and to Zerpin, and Zerpin has been helping run events a lot in North America, but especially in Asia lately. And it was a real honor to meet Zerpin. I really loved the work that they were doing at B Pro Cup, and the staff at B Pro Cup that I encountered were awesome. The setups were great. The usage of space was excellent. And it was good to see the sponsors. I feel bad I didn't spend time with Brook Gaming. I was busy. I was running around, but I did spend some time with Varmillo, and Varmillo's team there was really, really cool. Brook Gaming's team there was really cool too, and that's like their home turf. I wish that I had made time to spend time talking with Brook Gaming, because I'm really grateful for what they've done for fighting games and for arcade gaming, even for racing gaming, So, all right, we're on the warm-ups again, and let's see who can join the room. If you cannot join the room, please message and let me know so I can keep a tab of the current list of people that are currently unable to join the room that want to join. I do love when you get an intense VF match and you're not breathing, so then when the round's over, you have to take that big breath. Incident, thank you so much. Always so good to have you here. Thanks for your support in the chat. I know it's late for you, but I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Zerpin is awesome. Zerpin and I got along really well. We had a lot of chats. So what's awesome is at Tiger Uppercut, I want to say I would run into, but actually they ran into me. GamerBee and Zerpin both came up to me and we had great chats at different times. GamerBee came up to me, he just so enthusiastic when I was watching the tournament, the VF tournament, and so I think and he had a meeting with Sega, and he just looked very happy. So I'm happy about that. But I think he was happy because he was happy to see me. I mean, I don't know about the meeting, I hope for the meeting. It sounds like it was a great meeting actually, but he didn't tell me any details about it. He just said he had a good meeting with them.
For me.
But GamerB is it was just really wonderful. Like meeting him in Taiwan finally is the first time we've met, and then catching up and having a great time together in a moment at Tiger Uppercut. I really thank him for all of that and for everything he did in his career and what he's done for VF throughout his career actually, which is a lot more than a lot of people know. So that's, you know, there's some stories to tell there too. I did get the fleshier details of Max Battle and GamerB. So GamerB in Taiwan as a kid, as a very young kid, this was like maybe under 13, maybe at 13, he was the one who qualified to be the Taiwan representative for Virtua Fighter 3 at Max Battle Tournament, the big tournament Sega held the first year of Virtua Fighter 3. And but he could not go because he was too young to get like the visa. And so others represented, and they were awesome too. But GamerB was the one that was supposed to actually represent Taiwan. He is just really friendly and nice, and really busy, but on it, you know. But made time for me anytime I bugged him, he would make time for me. So I really appreciate him a lot. And B Pro Cup is a really big deal. B Pro Cup is the biggest fighting game event in Taiwan ever, or that they have, and there's a lot of attendance actually. I think their attendance is quite good. It is very, very good. The Taiwan attendance is pretty amazing, and I would like to see more there is international appearance there, especially for like Tekken and Street Fighter. I would like to see even more international attendance, you know, but I think there's quite a bit from Asia as well that I'm probably not accounting for. But it's great to see the energy there, and the energy was for every game that was there, you know, Grand Blue, Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, Tekken, Virtua Fighter. These all had, and King of Fighters, of course, these all had like really wonderful presidents, really enthusiastic fan bases. You know, the Virtua Fighter, like we did have the room that's next to it, like there's the room that is part of it, but that room has its own stage. It has its own 2 really big screens to watch on. It has its arcade cabinets that are there to play on, and it has Brook Gaming was in there, and as well as another sponsor. So it was, even though this is the second game space, it was like legit space, and it was, you got to feel like you really had your own event, and that's a great feeling to have, and everybody could see it from outside too. So I felt Virtua Fighter was treated very, very well on this second stage. In fact, I really appreciate it. And that room was very, very comfortable. Now this venue is actually in the historic building. Where this is located is next to the Taipei Dome, which is their arena. There is a creative park, which is really huge. This is like a college campus. Maybe not a university campus, but it's like a college campus size place with the hotel that's really there too. But the creative park is like a culture center, and the building we are in was an old tobacco factory, and so it's called the Tobacco Factory. But but I'll call it the historic tobacco factory, so that you understand this is like a museum kind of environment. But this thing has got lots of rooms that are used for exhibitions, for meetings, and for all kinds of events. And so it is an event space, as well as an educational, historical building. And so it is tricky to find the actual tournament, because it's tricky to find anything because it's a big building and you're like walking like in squares trying to find which room you're in. You know, but it's like your first day at a new college, you know. It's a lot like being your first day at a new college, and if you didn't go by the room numbers, you know, you just had to kind of know where everything was at, you know. But it's a really cool space though. The main space for B Pro Cup is like really big, and so the stage was huge. And it always feels like the atmosphere is quite great. And then the AC is amazing. Oh my gosh. If you sit to watch, like the AC feels so good. And this is kind of a surprise to me because in much of China and Taiwan, and they're not the same country, but in much of those places though, even Japan, they like it humid a little. Like they don't like rooms being like so super cold dry. You know, I do. But their AC was kicking it cold dry. So even though the space was huge and it was like, it was really big. It's like it's a big bar. It's like a place where you would have, like classic musicians playing their gigs, you know? I am going to start the next league battle after this one. I want to sit and chat, so I'm going to switch to spectator. So, next round, about to start. Hey, Weebs, how you doing? How are you doing, Weebs? Hey, everybody, welcome Weebs Over Dweebs. From Weebs Over Dweebs is from my area, from Salem. Jump on in. You're here, right? Where's Weebs? Can you join, Weebs? If you're having trouble joining, let me know. Yeah, so the tobacco factor is really cool. Now, it will surprise nobody that the Taiwan scene is a lot of people that are like my age, but they all love VF as much as anyone, and it is like a lot of the scenes I've seen. So it's a lot. Okay, we'll start after the next game. Zach attacks in. Hell yeah. I am in Portland, Oregon. Yeah. Okay, cool. When Weebs Over Dweebs will be here soon. Awesome. Okay, so B Pro Cup, honestly, they do an amazing job. They're located in a good space. They market mostly, I guess, to the Taiwanese and to the region, but and of course that's where they should, but they also do get lots of like high profile guests coming from each game. So the international guest though for B Pro Cup though was well, is guess the right word? We all kind of paid to go there and fly. It wasn't like we were sponsored to go in, but it was Jimmy PKG from Hong Kong. There's Havoc originally from Poland but lives in Taiwan now. He lives in Taichung, and myself, and then Paroli, of course, from Japan. Now, other Japanese players would have gone to B Pro Cup. However, the Newton Cup was happening that weekend, and Newton Cup is a huge deal for VF and in Japan. So, everyone's gonna pick that, right? That's kind of like fighting over Evo. Actually, it's like even bigger than fighting over Combo Breaker. It's like fighting over Evo. So that's why the Japanese did not have many representatives, but I'm really glad that Paroli went, and I think Paroli is still intended to play in Newton Cup actually. Paroli of course won. I got second. Jimmy PKG got third. And then and yeah, it was good. Let's see. Havoc also got top 5. So the international players were the ones to lead. However, the Taiwan players are very strong and they're very smart and knowledgeable. They are actually very good. We just, you know, played our hearts out. I felt that I played really well. I made a when I settled into the inn that I was at, I tried to use my portable setup, which is a Steam Deck and a portable display, and that was when I first played. I realized that on my Steam Deck I need to adjust settings because it's running less fast than how Revo was running before World Stage. And so I need to adjust my settings on my Steam Deck. And I didn't want to spend time with that during the event. So so what I did was I said, you know, I'm just going to go into this cold. I'm not going to play, and I'm not going to. Now, normally I recommend you play as much as possible, and I still recommend that. But in the sense of this tournament, I didn't play anybody until after they were out of the tournament, or there was no chance we were going to fight in the tournament. And so, and normally I don't do that, and that's not the secret to any success. It's just that that's what I chose to do because I kind of know that one of my advantages is that people are surprised by how aggressive I am. And so I felt I would just go ahead and leverage that. But also, I just wanted to enjoy B Pro Cup. I wanted to just have a good time there, talk to people, and play games. But the competitive focus was much more second or third for me. But I was still going to fight as hard as I could. And so I think I did extremely well. But I also still think, you know, Paroli and Jimmy PKG were just amazing in the tournament. Havoc has improved so much, and the hard part, Havoc had to deal with the fact that he doesn't know he's just not used to me as well. Even though we've played each other a lot in Hong Kong last year, but Havoc is a player that's similar to Setsuna. He can really blow you up on very key reads. And you gotta always be on the watch out for it. Like if you get comfortable against either of these two guys, they will have the read at the right spot to completely blow you up. All right, here we go. Starting next battle now. All right, good luck, have fun, you guys. I'm glad to be back, Baba. Thank you so much. Everyone's been so welcoming, and I appreciate it a lot. Let's see. How's everything been? Most things have been very good. I had an amazing time traveling. I haven't even talked about the online championships before I went on my trip. But I'm probably going to cover that in the video sometime because right now my memory is still flooded with Asia. So I went to Taiwan, and then I went to Thailand, and I played lots of VF in both and had amazing times. So I'm doing very good Platinum Trophy. I'm doing very, very well on those fronts. I've been addicted to the game Persona 5X, which is on mobile and on PC. It's a gacha game, and you should treat it like that. Just like you would treat Persona Tactics or Persona 5 Strikers as the types of games that they are. Persona 5X is a gacha game, but I really like it, and as a fan and as somebody who's played different games, the thing that makes me worried is that it actually is very free to play friendly. It's actually very generous, and I've always liked those games when I play at online games, but it's always made me worried because it's like, well, okay, but can you make sure you guys are in the black, you know? And I think because of Japan and China, they will be, but man, Persona 5X is so much fun. I'll talk about it another time. I'm really addicted to that game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It is incredibly free to play friendly, actually. It's one of those games where, you know, in these games, you're either paying to max more, or you're paying to be like the leader of the server or world or whatever, or you're paying to just, you know, beautify your game, but you're not, you know, paying to win, that's only if we're talking about the race to being like the strongest or fastest to down like an end game thing. Yeah. So Baba says TGU was awesome watching the matches. Tiger Uppercut was really awesome. I had so much fun watching the matches. I had so much fun hanging out there. I hung out a lot with the Australians as well as with Vegito and with Mr. Garpo. I spent time chatting a bit and getting to know the players and re-meeting some of them that I met in Japan 2 years ago. But it was so much fun, and that said, I am glad that the Japanese that went were able to enjoy their tourist activities too. I know that they were able to group together, and they were staying at the Japanese are in my experience, a lot of Japanese can be very organized when they travel. That's why, and they tend to go to similar places because they'll read similar books that say this is a good place to go. And like this is just kind of like the Japanese tourist way, like the way of doing tourism if you're Japanese, right? And so it's kind of like even in Portland, even in my area, I'll know there's this burger place out in the middle of nowhere. It's a really good one. But you'll see Japanese tourists there all the time because the guidebooks to all say go to this spot. It's kind of like when you're playing Persona, and everybody, you're gonna go to this dating spot because that's what the book recommends in the game, right? It's Japanese people are kind of like that. So so the funny story with that is when I think it's Kudo-kun actually in a set went out to a restaurant, and you have to take from the venue. They're not in the heart of Bangkok. They're like a half hour out of Bangkok. Not out of Bangkok, but they're on the part of Bangkok where more of the government buildings are, because that's where the expo center is, right? The expo center is going to be closer to the government, closer to where industry would meet and talk and influence, right? So that's where Impact Arena and Impact, the whole Impact compound is. Impact is a huge expo center. I mean, this is like a bunch of convention centers wrapped up into one, into one big area. And so Impact is pretty awesome. The venue, Impact's venue is really sick. And we were in the Polar Ballroom, and that ballroom is really cool. It also has lots of food around it, but it's more expensive the closer you are to it, except for the floor directly below the tournament has the traditional Thai cafeteria is not the right word, but it has the traditional Thai food court, and that food court basically, you invest in you buy a certain amount of tickets like you're at a fair. You use those tickets to buy food, or it's basically, now it's a QR code that you buy. And then when you're done, you cash out the QR code. You cash out the change, the rest. And it's a good system because this allows them to have kitchens for a lot of different cooks, and they can monitor which cooks are performing well, which ones are not, which ones should be kept. That can be brutal for the cooks, but it's a good system actually, and there's a lot of really cheap food. Like the food prices are like Thai food prices, but if you go anywhere within a square mile, then you're going to be paying premium prices outside of that food court. But the food court gives you all the good local food, and it's really good. And I did introduce some of the Japanese and the Australians to it on the second day. The first day I wanted to, but the first day everybody went for ramen. We all, I guess everyone just chose ramen, and so we did ramen. But yeah. Yeah, Ninja Master Mike was awesome. Mike and I hadn't seen each other in 20 years, but in person. And so it was wonderful hanging out, and we spent a significant amount of time hanging out and chatting. And I'm very grateful for everything, you know. But it is also fun watching him do the dad to, you know, his children are young, so doing the young dad thing. He's not a new dad anymore, but he's a dad of young children, and it's fun watching him go through that, because I remember going through that, and especially when you tie that with being away on a trip. So, you know, I got to see the kids on the video call, you know, a couple times. The ramen was good, but in Thailand it's really good to go. The food court's really, really great especially if you have someone to help you navigate that. And so we enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, the venue is awesome. Impact is a really cool place. Tiger Uppercut was awesome. So yeah, so the funny story was that the Japanese, that Kudo-kun, I think it was, with a group of players, went to this pretty cool restaurant they had heard they should go try out. And it's really cool, but it's like an hour away from Impact, right? And Seiji Aoki walks in, and so the Japanese devs are there too, and so for them, they're like, this is like some kind of miracle, you know. And I'm like, well, it's kind of a miracle, except for the fact that a lot of times Japanese kind of read the same guidebooks and go to the same places, you know. So you know. But I thought it was really, really awesome though that the Japanese players got to enjoy running into it's like that anime moment where the players from opposing teams, or you know, or company members, the executives and the lower level, you'll see this in the Japanese dramas too, they just run into each other at the same restaurant, right? And this is like one of those cases, except again, the restaurant's like an hour away. That's not normal, right? But this is because their patterns, like, oh, there's a place to go to, you got to try this place, okay, and then they have to run into each other at that same spot. So yeah. Hey, so, oh, yeah, Karasuba Shiba, we're doing very good. Us in the chat are doing good, thank you. So yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm feeling better. I got sick last week, but I'm recovered and feeling much better now. So I'm glad I can talk about VF again, and I'm glad I can share more about the VF. I do, now that we're talking on this topic, I'd like to share about the players, right? Later on, I am going to post up a directory